Hey, aloha, Master Key members. This is actually the Mkmma Canyon, and I wanted to shoot this real quick video for you to show you what the possibilities are. Now, this isn't really a lifestyle about how great my life is or anything. It's an application of the Master Keys, and I'm up here today, and I'm actually doing something that I imagine doing over and over again, being connected to my great uncles, the two of them, and who introduced me to baseball. And I'm actually watching the Red Sox-Tigers game today up here in the Mkmma Canyon. Now, what's important about this spot, and I'm going to flip this around a little bit for you. What's important about this spot is it's right here. I discovered this spot that looks out over the canyon and looks over at that island. I don't know how well you can see that. That's the Forbidden Island, Niihau. It's kind of like Amish for Hawaiians. They live like they normally did, but it was right here on this spot that I got a clear mental picture in my mind of what I wanted as I would look out over that. And I took this vision back with me, and of course I held it over and over and over again. And I knew when I moved from New England, these two wonderful uncles that were really my dad raised me, introduced me to baseball, and were so connected through baseball that I would be up here someday and connected to them, because I know that they're back there. I just talked to one of them watching the Red Sox. And that's just such a great thing. But that's not the important part. That's just my story. What's really important is I built this into my consciousness, created it in the world within, and of course it actually happened. Now, this is what's really important. Anything that you can picturize, clearly get a vision of, you can manifest. You see, if it's in your consciousness at all, it just requires concentration, focus, the exercises, and just following the philosophy, not to read it, but to apply it. You're going to find out later, and Al makes it really clear, that knowledge doesn't apply itself. And as I held this vision, sitting on that rock right there, that one right there, every morning, in my mind, when we first moved over here, we lived in the town just down below here, and I came up here every day and I sat in that spot, celebrated. So it's so important to celebrate and get that feeling. The reason that I mentioned my uncles is I connected the feelings that I had with them as a boy, idolizing them, to the moment, and I wanted that feeling, and I wanted to share this with them, and I wanted to stay connected to them. So that's what you want to do, is understand the real point of this short message to encourage you, is for you to really clearly get in your mind that the principle is a clear vision that you hold in your mind will eventually objectify the object of that vision. That's the master key, and this is the critical point right here. If it wasn't in your consciousness, you wouldn't be able to see that vision for yourself, whatever it is. This is really just me, my thing. My thing doesn't matter. What matters is I recognized that if it's in our consciousness and we focus on that, because the mind can't hold two thoughts at once. If we focus on that and get it clearer and clearer, like I did every morning in that tiny, wonderful apartment in Seabrook, New Hampshire, where things were, when our backs were against the wall, and I loved that time, because even though I was in this apartment and it was cold because it didn't have good heating, because it was a summer thing, the reality is I was always warm because I was always right here, looking at that and looking back over my shoulder at that island over there. So if you can think it, focus on it with the master keys, you can manifest it. It's really that simple. Peace be the journey, and we'll see you in your own personal quiet.